Welcome, you are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 13, National Football League gets it kicked off with the Thanksgiving action this year. Don't know about you, but I enjoyed the football thoroughly on Thanksgiving, but this was not a good football game. Now, it was good if you were a Detroit Lions fan, as they went and took care of business, and they needed to do this, and I'll get to that in a second, but this was the first of 3 Thanksgiving games on Thursday to kick off week number 13. Detroit Lions hosting the Green Bay Packers. We all know the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys are annually on the Thanksgiving tilt playing home games, and it's a tradition that we all love, and that I'm glad the NFL, when they started to think about, trying to revise the Thanksgiving schedule, did not scrap the Lions and the Cowboys, who were brave enough many years ago to step up to the plate and take on the challenge of hosting a Thanksgiving game every year. So it's a tradition, one that I am a football purist, and so I love to see it continue on. And so we have Lions, Packers. Lions have not won on Thanksgiving in ages, it seems like. Every year they get some opponent that's able to come on to the Thanksgiving stage into Detroit and get a victory. And so this was a golden opportunity. If Aaron Rodgers plays in this game, this probably is another one of those disappointing Thanksgiving tilts for the Detroit Lions. However, this season's a little different, but this game started out eerily similar to the game against Tampa Bay, to the game against Dallas at home for the Lions, where they just simply could not get out of their own way. Going 20-20, dominating the game yardage-wise, but turning the football over. And I got to jump on Reggie Bush right off the bat. I'm not even going to waste any time. I'm not going to sit and let this one marinate. Reggie Bush came out in the media just 2 weeks ago and said, hey, after that Steelers game, when he put the ball on the ground a couple of times, he said, hey, I'm not fumbling. I promise I'm not fumbling for the rest of the season. And I told Reggie, so don't put your foot in your mouth. And I said, don't make promises that you can't keep. And so I said, look, don't say this, because in 2 weeks, when you fumble in week 13, and I was just throwing a number out there. I said, when you fumble on week 13, everybody's going to throw that back at you and right into your face. And I said, I'm going to be in the front of that line, throwing it back in your face. Don't make promises you can't keep, Reginald. And sure enough, week 13, first possession, Lions going in for points. Impressive opening drive of the game for the Detroit Lions. They're marching right down the field to get points. What happens? Reginald Bush puts it on the carpet. Recovered by the Packers. Morgan Burnett scoops it up at the 2-yard line. No points for the Lions. The only way the Green Bay Packers can conceivably win this game is if the Detroit Lions do what they did a week ago against Tampa Bay, and that's self-destruct. If they just go out, play mistake-free football, they'll dominate the game, because the Packers aren't a good team right now without Aaron Rodgers. Simple as that. You know the motto. If you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance in this league, and the Packers right now don't have a signal caller. They have guys under center, but they don't have a signal caller. They don't have a quarterback that's going to be able to go out and help them win a football game. They're lacking at that position, and until Aaron Rodgers comes back, they'll be lacking at that position, and they will be at a disadvantage each and every single week, because teams will challenge them to throw the football. Hey, beat us through the air. We dare you to. You won't run it, though. Eddie Lacy won't get off on us. You'll have to beat us through the air. The Lions challenged them to do that, in fact, and they couldn't do it. They said, hey, beat us through the air. If you do that, we'll tip our cap to you, and you'll get a W. But if you can't, and we know you won't, then you won't win this game. But the Lions have to stay out of their own way. That's what I kept telling my dad. That's what my dad kept telling me. And it was obvious. If they stop turning the ball over, they're going to win this game, and they're going to win it easily. And so Reggie puts it on the carpet. Shame on you, Reggie. You promised us, and you couldn't cash in on that promise. I told you, don't make promises you can't keep. And so I want to see how you spin this one, buddy. But he puts it on the ground. Packers end up getting a field goal. They take a 3-0 lead. Then the Lions go down the field. They get a touchdown. And it could be easy like this all day if the Lions just stop shooting themselves in the foot. So they take a lead. Then the Lions have the football. Matthew Stafford is stripped of the football by Nick Perry. Great play, beats the left tackle around the corner, gets to Matthew Stafford, strips the football out. It's scooped up by Morgan Burnett. Again, Johnny on the spot, his second fumble recovery in this game. He walks into the end zone, and this is what I'm talking about. The only way the Packers can win this game is if the Detroit Lions allow them to do that. I mean, this isn't a really good Green Bay Packers football team. It's just not. And so I felt like they needed to stop turning the football over. If they could just do that, this game isn't even worth entertaining. And so I believe the Lions got a field goal. I think it was 3-3 when that fumble occurred, and it went to 10-3 Packers. And after that, the Lions just exploded. Either was 7-3 or 10-3. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, Lions reel off about 33 or 37 unanswered points, one or the other. And Packers don't score again after the Burnett fumble recovery for a touchdown. They were thoroughly dominated. At one point, the stats for the yards stated, Green Bay 52, Lions 572 yards total in this game. I mean, the Packers were thoroughly dominated. They could not sustain any offense. Matt Flynn was under siege all game long. They even got a safety, did the Detroit Lions, in this game. They dominated this game from start to finish. If not for the turnovers, Matthew Stafford threw 2 more interceptions in this game. If not for the turnovers, he fumbled, and Reggie fumbled. If not for the turnovers by Matthew Stafford and the Reggie Bush fumble and the Stafford fumble, I don't know if the Packers score in this game. I mean, they were atrocious. They were a joke in this game, and they did not show up. They were dominated on offense, on defense. The Lions showed up, and this is what I want to see from the Lions. Minus the turnovers. Again, if this was a credible team, one with a quarterback, one with a defense that's respectable. I mean, the Packers, not only, and this was the thing that was so disappointing from Green Bay in this game, not only was the offense a joke and amusing to watch, the defense went out and they did absolutely nothing to deter this Lions offense. The defense of the Green Bay Packers were on the field in body and spirit. But in terms of actually putting up a fight, there was none in this game. There was no resistance. The Lions went up and down the field as they saw fit. Special teams for the Lions, and Jeremy Ross dominated this game as well. The Packers simply did not show up in any form or fashion in this game. And they were taken to school and dominated. And like I said, if not for the turnovers, and the Lions have to stop turning over the football. Look, you won this game 40-10, okay? So there's not going to be many complaints. But if there is a complaint from this game, it's the turnovers. You still managed to turn the football over 4 times in this game. Again, if not for an anemic Packers team that you're playing against in this game, maybe you don't even win with 4 turnovers. You've got to stop turning the ball over, Detroit. But all in all, you got it done. And so you're not going to hear me beat you up when you win a game by 30, 40-10, and you don't give up an offensive touchdown, and you don't give up 100 total yards of offense. And if you did, you barely did. You won't hear me complain. You get a safety, you sack the quarterback a bajillion times, you put enormous amounts of pressure on that Packers offense, and they folded under that pressure. You won't get a lot of complaints out of me, but if you want to win this division and you're really in the driver's seat because you swept the Bears and they're the closest competitor to you in this division, you split with the Packers, so they have to finish better than you to win a division, and you're not going to have a tie on your resume, so everything is going in your favor. You just got to play some clean football down the stretch, and that includes not turning the football over. I mean, these turnovers have to stop if you're the Detroit Lions. That's the only thing that can hold you back, especially offensively. Defensively, I feel like you're coming along, you're getting pressure on the quarterback, you're stopping the run. This young secondary is starting to gel and mesh together. Louis Delmas, when healthy, we know he's a factor for this football team. Glover Quinn Jr. has been a great acquisition for this team. Darius Slay starting to come along. Chris Houston, solid corner. If you can get your secondary to play and continue to get guys like L.A.B to continue to contribute. He had another interception. What is that for him? 4 or 5 on the season? He's been a great playmaker for you this year. You need him to continue to do that. Continue to get pressure on the quarterback like you did. Willie Young and company. You had all kinds of guys getting to the quarterback in this game. Sue with a sack for a safety. Continue to get pressure on the quarterback. This defense is coming along. If you just stop turning the football over offensively, you could be a dangerous team in the NFC. You're now 7-5 after this big W on Thanksgiving. Packers fall to 5-6-1. And again, this Packers team, by the time Aaron Rodgers comes back, and it looks like he might be back against Atlanta in Week 14, by the time he comes back, it might be too late. Now, it definitely isn't over for the Packers because, again, the Lions continue to turn the football over. I think the Bears are about to start that late season plummet. So I'm not really worried about Chicago right now. They have to prove to me that they're not the same team that over the last 2 years took a nosedive at the end of the season. Until they prove otherwise, I think they're that same team. And so I look for them to continue to have that downward spiral toward the end of the season. So I'm not really worried about Chicago. To me, it's between Detroit and Green Bay. And it just seems like Green Bay, even when Aaron Rodgers comes back, they're starting to fall apart as a team. So I think it's the Detroit Lions division for the taking. If they want it, it's there. Take it. Run away with it. But you have to stop turning the football over. You got to. I mean, you got Philly coming up. You can't turn the ball over against the Eagles. They'll score points. So you got to take advantage of all these opportunities that are coming your way. And if you're the Lions, stop turning it over. Keep moving the ball at will like you've been doing and get points out of it. And I'm going to caution you with this, and then we'll get out of here. You need to keep your eye on David Akers. I didn't like the acquisition of David Akers. I thought you should have kept Kickalicious in the offseason. You gave him a shot. I thought he was a young leg, a guy that had a huge leg that could come in and help you out. You went with the veteran. I don't fault you for that. But again, I'm not a big David Akers fan. You need to watch your back there. I could easily see David Akers costing you a football game down the stretch. He missed a chip shot right before the half, about 34 yards or so. That can't happen. You can't miss 30-anything-yard field goals. And he missed it right down the middle. It's not like the ball was centered on one of the other hash. It was right down the pipe, and he just hooked it. Watch out for David Akers. I do not like him as your field goal kicker. But a huge win, Detroit. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. That's what I was screaming for. And I took you to school. I took you behind the woodshed and ripped you a new one last week when I went on my rant about how you weren't able to beat Tampa Bay. And you deserve that. But I also said that this was a must-win game on Thanksgiving versus the Packers, especially if there's no Aaron Rodgers. Whether he played or not, you needed to have this one. And you got it done, and you got it done in a huge way. That's a big win for you. I still don't like your head coach, but again, I can't argue with results. You guys went out. You got it done. 40-10, dominating fashion. If you're the Green Bay Packers, there's not really much to say here. You didn't show up. You weren't competitive. And this team, to me, is getting worse because of the absence of Aaron Rodgers. If anything, you needed to be playing some really good football, the best of the season, just to have a chance because there is no Aaron Rodgers. But in his absence, it seems like this defense has regressed. It seems like this offense, and you expect it to, has taken a huge step backwards. And now, when he comes back, not only is he going to have to help repair this offense that's in shambles, this offensive line has gotten worse. The running game has suffered because of it, of course. Teams are going to load up the box and stop the run and dare you to pass, and that's what you haven't been able to do. And then, to make matters worse, this defense isn't playing any good football now. So when Aaron Rodgers comes back, even if he's lighting it up offensively, this defense might be still giving it up. So it's going to be very interesting to see what this Packers team does once Aaron Rodgers comes back, because I don't know if it's too late, but I'll tell you this much. This team doesn't look right right now. And when Aaron Rodgers comes back, I don't know if they can just turn the switch back on and start playing Green Bay Packers football. So that's a tough loss. You really got your you know what handed to you in this game. And so 40-10, a 30-point loss on national television on Thanksgiving. Doesn't get much worse than that if you're the Green Bay Packers. Huge win for the Lions. They go to 7-5 and take sole possession of first place in the NFC North division. Meanwhile, Packers cement their place in third place in this division with another loss, their third consecutive. And then you chalk up that tie. You might as well say 4 consecutive losses, but a tie isn't a loss, but it's just as good as one. And so they're 5-6-1 now on the season, and I just don't think they're going to be able to win this division. And that's the only way you're getting in if you're the Packers. Winning this division, I don't think you're going to get in. With all the good teams in the NFC, the wild card isn't an option for the Packers. You either win the division or you're not going to get a ticket to the dance. And I just don't think with that injury to Rodgers that they're going to be able to get in to the playoffs this season. So that's going to do it for this installment of In the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the Lab Room. Thank you for joining me. I've got 2 more Turkey Day matchups to break down. Come back and join me as I break down all the action from Thursday on Thanksgiving in the National Football League. So come back. I've got plenty more to break down. See you in a bit.